Did you know over 60% of first-time clients do not return for a second visit? That is so painful, but it doesn't have to be that way. That's where Maya comes in. Maya is the ultimate marketing software for the beauty and wellness industry. We have a proprietary funnel utilizing special algorithms to help connect the right consumers with the right providers at your business. This means that Maya helps you get higher spending clients you love to work with who stay the long haul. If you want to increase your revenue, increase your client count, increase your average ticket, and increase your new client retention, then you need Maya. Go to joinmaya.com to set up your own personal virtual tour and see why over 500,000 consumers have trusted Maya and the businesses we work with to find their perfect beauty and wellness pro. We promise you will love Maya.
Thank you for joining me. This is Kati Whitledge with the Beyond the Technique podcast. It's our Thursday together. How are you? I hope you're loving these short episodes today. It's not the best topic, but it's important for us to maybe call a spade a spade. Today, I'm going to share the signs a stylist is leaving. And I'm going to go from kind of most obvious to maybe not so obvious. If you've been in this industry a long enough time, especially as an owner, you have seen stylists leave for various reasons. And it's typically always in hindsight that you're like, see, I kind of noticed this. I kind of noticed that. Or sometimes we do see the signs, but we're in either denial or we're just fearful of bringing something up. I've been there where I'm like even afraid to ask because if I ask or prompt it, will this get them the wheels turning where they're like, maybe I should consider leaving? Like, do you not have those same fears? Every salon owner, I think, does. And today I just want us to be on the same page of here are some signs to keep an eye on. And really, my goal or point of this conversation is to have the courage to be face to face with that person you're kind of seeing these signs with, have the courage to ask them straight up. I've gotten more and more courageous in doing that, and it's hard. And I always have to preface it like, "Hey, I know sometimes I have anxiety, and I hate to admit that because I don't want to come off as somebody who's worried or has worries. As a strong tech CEO." And this bold leader, speaker, podcaster, all the things, I feel like I'm supposed to be able to be more, I guess, confident and not have those same like fears and worries and anxieties. Like if I'm really great, I'm going to let it drip off my back and be stronger. But you know what? Sometimes it's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of vulnerability of saying, look, I have similar fears as every other human being because I'm an emotional human who loves people very much. And I just want to know the truth. Don't you want that as a salon owner? Just be honest. Please just be honest with me. So we're going to go through that today. First, the signs a stylist is leaving. And this is the most obvious is there's a different vibe about them. They just don't seem like themselves. There's something off. They may even come across like they're unhappy, and you automatically might think something's going on in their personal life. But there is something like about their nonverbal cues where they're just not as into the team, into other people on the team. They're not as into you, your leaders. There's a vibe. You can sense it. That is the most obvious that somebody is leaning towards exiting. Another sign that a stylist will leave or might leave is they won't invest in events the same way. So imagine you have an educational event that a stylist has to maybe buy a mannequin head for, or make sure you have these supplies, or the salon's going to cover 80% of it. You need to cover 20%, or it's 50-50 split, or however that looks. They may find a reason that event won't work for them, which kind of goes right into the next piece of a sign that a stylist is leaving is they cannot attend just a lot of anything, whether it's paid or not, whether they have an investment. If the investment isn't money, it might be their time, and they may be saying more no to more things. They may say no to team bonding events. You might have a free, fun event that everybody can attend, and they just don't go to those anymore, or they lessen what they show up to. They find reasons they can't attend a salon event, whether it's a community event, something fun, special, or even team meetings. There are things that pop up where all of a sudden they can't come to a team meeting, and you're starting to see that they're less and less, and this is the next one, engaged. So another sign is just lack of engagement. So many of you are using tools such as Slack or Asana, a way to communicate. Maybe it's a text thread, and they don't really chime in as often. If they're asked their opinion, they're kind of ho hum. They don't really have an opinion anymore. They really don't have hills to die on. Maybe they used to be passionate and have strong opinions, and now they're like, oh, whatever you guys decide is fine. They kind of are less interested or less just motivated to share their feedback. That is a sign. Do you have to go after them for their opinions? Do you have to go ask them for feedback where they used to maybe volunteer it or even go out of their way to share it? That is a definite sign. The number one sign, though, this is huge because in every situation, and this includes the situations where they exited when you actually should have let them go. So this is a sign that is almost a sign for you to have the tough talk, because not everybody that starts with you is going to finish with you. As painful as that is, it is just the truth. So this particular sign is the most important sign to keep an eye on. It's the most threatening. I've many a times seen this sign and think that somehow I'm going to have this ability to reach into their soul and get them to see the light. And that never happens. It's never the case. When people have hardened their hearts or they've made that decision, there's oftentimes no turning back from that. I mean, think about people who have exited and you're like, well, have you already signed a lease somewhere or have you already done the thing? And they're like, yeah, like they're not telling you before they've done it. They always tell you once it's done. But this sign is one of those that if you see it, you might need to be the one to cut the cord. And by the way, I'm the worst at this. When I see this happen, again, I try everything to not give up on people. I feel that I'm very loyal. And I've not been loyal in every 100% of things in my life, but if you said, is Kati Whitledge a loyal person? Yes, I'm a very loyal person, meaning I don't give up on you. I think it's part of how I was raised, like forgiving others because you're a forgiven person. So I'm learning to be more bold and courageous, even with this. And that is, I'm finally going to tell you, is when somebody starts questioning or complaining your actual business model. So they've been with you for some time. They know this is how the commission structure goes. This is how the level systems go. This is how we pay out retail. This is how we handle hair extensions or back bar charges or whatever it is. This is your business model. Now, all of a sudden, they've grown and grown and grown, and you built them up probably very quickly. In our experience, stylists took maybe 2 years to get to the next level. Now they're moving up to the next level in 6 to 12 months, right? So like faster than ever, they're getting bigger and better results for themselves in their career. And all of a sudden, they want to know why isn't it even better than how it is now? They start to complain and question your business model. It becomes more about myself, less about we. It's less about the collective team and more about getting their way, getting what they want, or what they think they deserve. So I had a stylist come to me and say, I think we should charge for our time, even if it's a consultation. And I said, well, I got to really think about that, especially because what I do for you, I have to be willing to say yes and do for everybody else. So you try to kind of get your individual into the team mindset and say, individually, I totally see where you're coming from. You're a higher level, your time is valuable. Let me see what the implications would be for the entire team. You may come to whatever decision. It very well could be that you do charge for uh, higher levels to have that consultation fee, which completely would revise just an entire salon policy. You might have a salon policy that's like consultations are free and they're a 15-minute slot and we have you come in and this and this and this. That might all change. The point is somebody comes to you, they see it differently all of a sudden. You try to be open-minded, but yet you got to think of the whole team and you want them to have that mindset as well. When you see that that is not taken well, or other areas, it could be other policies, other things, when it becomes more about I'm not getting all that I should get out of this. That attitude shift is the number one indicator that that stylist is no longer bought in. And what's hard to hear is that you might have to be the one to make the call. You might have to be the one to say, this is no longer a great fit, because the threat is that this mindset shift will have an effect and become a poisonous presence among the rest of your team, where all of a sudden a group will turn on you. And I don't want to say you, because you represent the business model. Ultimately, at the end of the day, the buck stops here. Now, not for very, very big brands. It's interesting how this truly affects salons with that 5 to 15 team member collective. Okay. When you become multi-location or you have 50 plus providers on the team, there's a bit of a shift. You become almost like an institute. So if I were going to go, let's say, to the Aveda Institute for my schooling, I wouldn't hold it against the owner of that location necessarily, whom I might never meet, that things are done or run a certain way. I might complain or whatever. And school is probably not a great choice, because you don't just leave your school as easily as you might leave a salon that you work for. But my point is, like, the bigger you become, which is also a very cool goal to have, is where you become viewed differently as an institution. You institutionalize this experience for your employees. This isn't just one person going home at night and laying in bed and deciding, okay, I'm going to give you your way. We're going to redo everything because I want to make you happy. That is a very, very heavy weight for you to have on your shoulders. It's not fair. So how can I encourage you today? It's to call a spade, and you don't have to be a jerk about it, which again, sometimes I've struggled with, because if I have these moments where you are being clear as being kind, I'm sometimes clear, but the kindness part doesn't come off as warm and fuzzy as it could. And I need to work on that. My clear can sometimes be very sharp and straight to the point. I might say, this is not meant to hurt your feelings, but the way I deliver it is not the same as, like, I don't know. I'm just not that mom either. When I think about my kids and how much I love them, I'm not the mom to deliver truth, facts, advice in a way that is super soft and gentle. Now, once in a while, for example, my kid was being picked on the bus, and I was like, you need to handle it or they're going to keep doing it. Now, I don't want you to provoke it, but if you have to take him down, and this is a word, like, I do believe in Jesus, I am a Christian, but I was like, in hindsight, this is not probably the way to do it. But in the moment, I was like, you don't let somebody treat you like that. And if you do now, they will forever. And you have to handle that. So you have my permission to take them down. It sounds terrible, but I don't be like really, really hurt somebody. But you let them know you're not going to speak to me like that. Um, so that's just my style. And I need to work more on maybe softening my delivery. Because when I'm coaching others on how to do this, I feel like I'm really capable of eloquently delivering that in a really non-emotional way. Maybe that's the tie. When I feel like I have an emotional connection to somebody, then when they question everything you have done to grow your business or your team or work really hard to keep everybody's best interest at heart, and now all of a sudden you're getting complaints about it, isn't it hard not to take that personally? So when you see an attitude shift, I want to just encourage you to just be bold and have that courage to have the face to face conversation. Now, how do you soften if you're like me and you come off too hard sometimes? Be clear, but maybe put yourselves in a soft environment, which means you don't do it over the phone or over a Zoom or definitely not over a text or any type of typed up communication platform. It's like, hey, let's go have coffee. I want to buy you a smoothie. I want to catch up. And now here's another sign. The person that's probably disengaged is like, there's just like never availability all of a sudden. You can't find a time. Then I would just mark myself off on their appointment schedule as a paid client. Sure, I'm going to pay. Look, give me a blowout. I'll buy a smoothies and let's have a heart to heart. And you get paid out on my services. So you're getting paid for your time. And I want to hear from you. I really want to know where your heart is at. On the flip side, as an owner, being okay with somebody not being the right fit any longer, when there's all of a sudden this misalignment, letting yourself accept that, go through the grieving process, go through the hurt, all the feels behind the scenes with the trusted people in your life that you can share those hurts with, and then come back, show up, be present, be positive, and focus your energy on your A players who are in it to win it, committed, dedicated, and supportive of being a part of a team and a collective. Hopefully, you found value in today's conversation. If you have other signs that you thought I did not touch on today, please go to our Instagram. We have the link in our show notes. I want you to DM me directly. I want to hear from you because I think together we can really help one another. And if there's anything that you've noticed that I missed today, please share it with me. DM me. And I hope that we connect more often through social as well. Thank you for your loyal listenership, everybody. I appreciate you. If you appreciate this platform, please take a moment, leave us a positive review wherever you're listening so that more people like yourself will discover Beyond the Technique, where we're here to change the way that you are supported in your business. Until next time, have an awesome day and stay strong.